78.6 FM Yomaton. This is Positive Vibes with Winsome. Man, it's good to be back. Man, let me just put these headphones on so I can hear myself. Hello, everybody. 78.6 FM Saturday. Positive Vibes with Winsome. So much great things coming, man. We're sitting in March right now. Next week, the 4-hour Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, which if you know me, you know I've been waiting for this for a very long time. Since the 2017, I call it a flop, but since the 2017 version of this movie came out, a lot of people were disappointed. I wanted more as someone who grew up as a fan of the Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Aquaman. Every rendition of these characters make me happy. So to see the passion and the story of Zack Snyder and what he's doing with his movie and the story with even a hashtag, what is it? What was it? Save the Snyder Cut or bring the Snyder Cut, whatever it was. It's just amazing to have this happen. Even though it's a 4-hour long movie, right? Doesn't mean that we got to watch all 4 hours at one sitting. We can, pause it, do whatever we want to do. But that's next weekend, man. So I'm excited to have some friends over, by the guidelines, however many friends we're allowed to have with masks on by that time, right? And then the following weekend, right after that, of course, we got King Kong versus Godzilla also coming out. Man, I am so excited. So, needless to say, a lot of great things coming over the weekend for the next 2 weekends. I'm still going to be here, bringing in all the positive vibes that I can, man. So let's talk. What are we talking about today? Not talking about Zack Snyder all day. We're not talking about movies. It's been a wonderful week. It's been the weather has been great. I think it rained one day out of this week. Okinawa got a lot of things to see. There's a lot of things open up for us here on the island that we're allowed to do now. Of course, the CSD, when it drops, it tells you what you can and can't do if you're here on sofa status. So, because I am, now we're allowed to go into restaurants. We're allowed to eat, dine in. We're allowed to go to the mall. We're allowed to do all these things that, we took for granted for a while, and we lost those privileges. And so now it's really exciting to have them back. So that's basically what's been going on around here on the island. We're also allowed to now travel to mainland Japan, which is another present gift in itself, because we've been stuck here in Okinawa, not able to get to mainland unless we had, a lot of approval to get there. So, needless to say, the numbers are going down. We are able to do a lot more here on the island. And today, carrying on the positive vibes, of course, first segment, freestyle. Second segment, of course, drop with the positive topic. Third segment, as always, is dedicated to the Air Force Wounded Warrior Wellness and Resiliency Team, man. So, doing a lot of great things. I had an opportunity to speak to some third graders yesterday. So yesterday was third grade. I spoke to this. Now this school is virtual, so you had some students from here, in Okinawa, Guam. I forget what other country. It was really cool to have them all logged in. We were talking about growth mindsets for kids, third graders, right? So I had to dial back a little bit what I teach the adults and dial back what I've also taught middle school. And now we're going to the third grade and teaching the kids how to believe in themselves, how special their brain is, how amazing that supercomputer is, how it's like a big sponge. And so when you doubt yourself, you're just not putting the data in. It was just amazing to see the responses the kids interact with you on their laptops at home. So for me, and to the teachers who put that together and asked me to be there for a little bit, thank you so much for the invitation. I mean, I think that is so much fun, and to see the responses and to communicate back and forth with the kids, to see their answers, their little cute answers. I mean, it was just adorable. So that was really awesome for me. Looking forward to what's next. Had some really cool interviews, as you guys know. We interviewed a couple of great people last couple of weeks, so trying to see what's coming up for the next month. Hoping to get Miss Carolyn Dweck. If you hear me, now, I'm going to send this link to you. And if you guys don't know, she's the beautiful professor, amazing mind, who came up with mindset, something that we discuss all day, every day in leadership positions, right? How you approach things and how you see them. And so my role or goals, try to get her on the Zoom, Facebook Live for the team so we can chat a little bit. So I'm really excited about hopefully having that happen in the next couple of weeks. Women's History Month, man. Whew, Women's History Month. There's been a lot of chatter about some negative media, announcer was saying something crazy. I'll tell you what, man. You guys know I was raised by my mom. Raised by a woman, got my name by a woman, and my game by a woman. Everything I know, do, and appreciate in life is because my mom gave me the tools I needed to be successful and to survive. So I'll never take away from women, ladies, being just as amazing, as strong, incredible, wise as men. I don't see the separation that's the shenanigans that was going on in the news a couple of days ago. I will tell you this, man. I'm blessed and truly appreciative of the women that I serve with every day. The personalities, the incredible imaginations, the strength, the guidance, even my boss directly, just an amazing and very impactful on my career in a short amount of time that we've been together, a little bit over a year. So I will tell you this, if you're not in there fighting every day with these people, with these amazing women, keep your mouth shut. And I'll say that again, because these ladies have, for 22 years of my life, and then going back towards being raised by my mom, I wouldn't be here. There's so many things that I've gone through with these teammates, these amazing partners in crime. And I say in crime, I mean in the business, our day job, not real crime. Please keep in mind, Women's History Month. Man, so many women I wish I could have spoke to this month. Jackie Joyner-Kersee, I tried to get her to speak about her Olympic run. Also reached out to a couple of others. This is an amazing month. Some of the locations are doing virtual panels with some amazing ladies this month and discussing leadership and discussing some great stories, some very, very intriguing stories of overcoming obstacles and diversity. And, it's just really a cool month to be a part of and to celebrate and to just learn some things you don't realize and we've taken for granted for so long. And to know that it wasn't just so long ago, not that long ago, that it was so unequal and women couldn't do the things that they can do today, and not just in one country. That's everywhere, right? It was not even equal balance. It was so it's incredible to see where we are in 2021. So that too, quick shout out to Women's History Month. I know everyone's doing a little something to celebrate the women in their lives and their worlds, their surroundings, and just want to say from the bottom of my heart, truly appreciate everything that you contribute to society, to my life, and to everyone that I love that is one of these people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So one of the things I want to talk about today, man, and I talk about a lot about self-care, self-love, personal development. This month we're talking about mindfulness, right? Which kind of rolls into a little bit of what we talked about last month with self-care, but it's different. Mindfulness is going to be something that's going to take us kind of down a different road. I have a friend of mine from the Air Force Wounded Warrior. They're going to do a little Zoom interview, so I'm not going to take away too much of the thunder from that. With our interview, we're going to cover mindfulness in depth, so I want to save that to when we get to our interview. The one thing that I do want to talk to you guys about, though, man, is one of my favorite topics when it comes to positive vibes and mindsets is no matter what's going on around you, find the good. It's so easy to get wrapped up in negativity, and as you guys know, it's so easy to wake up and open up your phones and see negativity all over the world, right? But when you wake up, try a routine and try something that's going to keep you away from jumping right into the negativity. Instead of jumping directly into the negativity of the world and what's going on out there, try to find a routine that starts your day off in a positive way. We've had guests here that'll say, start your day off with gratitude, start your day off with positive affirmation, start your day off with bam. But when we start talking about application, then you start looking at how do people truly wake up and go about their day? How do you get up and go about your day? What is it that you do that's different, right? Is it something that's going to set you up for a positive mindset to where you get out there, you get in your car, and you just can't wait to get your day going? You thinking about all the great things that you wanted to do with your week, right? What do we say? Every day, do at least one thing that's getting you towards your goal, whatever your goal is, right? Promise yourself you're going to do at least one thing in that direction. Are you doing that? So many of us aren't. We're just going aimlessly into the day without a plan, without a routine, without any kind of set schedule. We're just, whatever happens, happens. Those are the folks that normally don't even realize they're disappointed because they've gotten so used to the status quo. So when you take your life back, you guys know I always say that, right? When you take your time back and you take your day back, ultimately you're taking your life back. Slowly but surely. You're not giving bits and pieces of yourself to everyone and everything that's reaching for you. You're setting boundaries. You're taking control. You're learning how to say no. You're taking your life back. It's not easy for everyone to do because everyone's so anxious to just move. Not paying attention to what direction, where they're going, what's next. They're just anxious to move, right? And I'm guilty of that. You know what I always tell y'all? Keep moving forward no matter what. Keep moving. Negative or positive, you get through when you keep moving. But no, I want a direction. I want to know what I'm moving towards, right? Think about that. And we've mentioned this months ago, and I haven't said it in a while. You can't hit a target you can't see. So if you don't know what you're aiming for, you don't know which direction you're trying to go in, what are you really shooting for? What are you aiming at? And so that's why I tell you, when you wake up and you don't have a plan, right? When you wake up and you don't really know what you want to do next, you're just leaving yourself wide open to whatever comes. And possibly setting yourself up for disappointment, frustration. And we talk about all these things we're going to get into with mindfulness in the next couple of weeks. And you can't control that because you don't have any control of how you want to have what the outcome you want. So you're just giving yourself into anything. Couple other things, man, and we're talking about self-love, self-care, appreciating you. Don't pour from an empty cup. You can't give in to anybody else if you don't have yourself taken care of. But I heard some really awesome quotes, man, and we'll pull from them after the break. But you got to make sure, and you understand two things out of whatever anyone is telling you, whatever you see at work, whatever you see at home. Two things. You matter. You matter. Everything about you, you matter. Know what you love and why. Know who you love and why. Protect your peace. Protect yourself from all the nouns. Remember those big nouns that I mentioned a few weeks ago? Check this out. Those people, places, and things that are not good for you. Protect yourself from that. Eliminate those things out of your life. Because you know what? When you eliminate those things out of your life that don't belong there, you start protecting your life, your day, your time, your energy. You start understanding that this is not what I need if I'm trying to grow. This is not what I need if I'm trying to go into a positive way. This is not what I need if I'm trying to be positive. I need all this negativity, this toxicity out of my life. So those people that you know always bring you negative information, negative news, negative scenarios, eliminate them. Those places you know you're not supposed to be, you know aren't doing anything good for you, you know aren't taking you in the direction you want to go in your life, eliminate it. Get it out of your life. Those things. If you know that you want to be able to run but you're smoking cigarettes, get rid of the cigarettes. If you know you want to be able to live but you're not eating right, eat right. You're eating trash, get rid of the trash. If you know that you want to get rid of the clutter in your life so that you can see clearly, eliminate the clutter. As you see, you got to take control of those people, those places, and those things that are keeping you from being the best version of you. You have to. You see, and it's funny. I say this because these are all things that have been like on my list all year, last year, the year before. Take control of those people, places, and things in your life that you don't need. Get them out of your life. Take your life back. Take control of your peace. Protect your peace by all means necessary because it's not negotiable. This is 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. We'll be right back after this break. 78.6 FM Yomaton. You're back with Positive Vibes with Winsome. Hey, man, I'm all about self-love, self-care, taking care of yourself, making sure you are on full so that you're not on E. I want to make sure that when I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to you guys from just something I'm reading or something I'm hearing from other people. But you know, everything I say and live or say to you, I'm living myself, right? And if I can't connect to it, I don't speak to it. And that's the biggest thing. I think we listen to a lot of people. We pay attention to a lot of speakers. We take advice from a lot of folks who are not living what they're telling you. Pay attention to where you're getting your advice from. Pay attention to where you're getting your guidance from. Check again who your mentors are. Check again who those friends are that you get that advice from. Especially if you notice you keep hitting the brick wall and the advice you're getting, you're going with it. You might want to check who that source is and what that advice is that you're getting, because just because you're close to someone doesn't mean that everything they say is in your best interest, right? You have to evaluate the information. You have to know yourself, love yourself, trust yourself enough to say, wait a minute, let me look at this real quick. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this who I'm trying to be? Or am I going off the guidance of somebody else whose vision for themselves they might be mirroring from you, but you can't always take everyone's advice. It's kind of like the gym. You know how they always say those people who read the magazine and then they go try to do the workout? Well, if they've never had the foundation to jump into the workout, normally they end up hurting themselves. They end up getting discouraged because they can't do the workout, or they're frustrated because they really don't understand, the dynamics. There's things that they didn't learn, but the coach that they got was in the book, right? It has to be a credible source because it's right here in this magazine. Hey, that just is a snapshot of the reality behind what it takes to build a body. The snapshot of what it takes to build a foundation to get to that point. You can't just jump in. You can't just jump into the workout and look like the guy in the picture. You got to build up to that point. Now, if the article said these are some basic routines to get you build up, to build your foundation, that's different. But you like those ones that say, hey, get swole in 3 weeks, big biceps in 2 days? Bro, if you have no foundation before that 2-day point, what are you doing? You're just jumping in there and tearing your muscles up, and you won't understand what happens. That's like life. You just jump in based on someone else's experiences, someone else's wisdom, someone else's time. But if they don't know your whole story, they're only giving you a snapshot of what they understand. So understand this, man. You can't trust all sources. You got to pay attention. You got to open your eyes and make sure that whoever you're getting your information from is credible, is the source that you want. We talked about in the last segment, people, places, and things that are toxic. The sad part is that in 2021, what was toxic last year seems to be acceptable this year, right? Or vice versa, what was toxic 2 years ago started becoming accessible or acceptable last year. Nah, man, go back to what's right in your mind and in your heart. If you know what's wrong for you, eliminate it. People, places, and things, eliminate it, because that's not what you need in your life. Another thing is stop underestimating yourself. All right, let me say this again, because I need to hear it too. So let me say this for me. Stop underestimating yourself. Know that whatever you put your mind to, you can do. Know that whatever you set out to do in your life, no matter what your path used to be, if your path changes, your goal changes, and your finish line changes, you can get there. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Don't let anybody else's wish for you be your goal. You create it. You do everything in your mind, your heart, your vision that you know is going to get you where you're trying to be. And check this out. Pay attention when you're climbing that mountain and you're trying to get to the top. Pay attention when your hand slips off that rock. Who are the people that are still helping you up that mountain? Who's the one nudging you? Hey, bro, you slipped. I got you. Who are those people that are saying, hey, man, look up? Because what did I tell you? If you can look up, you can get up. Who are those people that have your back, those accountability buddies, those teammates, those wingmen that say, hey, man, you aren't by yourself. I tell you this all the time. Everybody who reads these memes about the lion at the mountain of the hill, that lion didn't get up there alone. No matter what their story is, there was someone, somewhere in their path that helped them. You can be that person that helps others, and you can be that person that pay attention to who's helping you, because I guarantee you there's someone. Listen, everything you do from this point on, stop underestimating yourself. Stop doubting yourself. That is the one thing. You can be so close. Let me tell you, remember what I said? I'm saying this for me too. You're right there. You can see it. All the pieces are right there around you to the puzzle. That's where you want to be. That puzzle, when it's all put together, your dreams are answered. You can be right there at that threshold, at that line. Don't quit. Don't give in. Don't stop. Don't get distracted. Focus on your finish line. And don't let anyone or anything get in your way, because this is your dream. This is your vision. This is your time. This is your life. I was telling the team I was teaching last week, guess what? We only get one set of lungs, one set of, one brain, one heart, one everything. We only have one, right? We can't keep here and keep doing the same thing to ourselves over and over without appreciating that every day is a blessing. Everything we do, we may not be able to do it tomorrow. So we got to give everything we have now. Sometimes we forget that every day we wake up and put our feet on the ground, that today is a new day. So remember something else. Whoever you were yesterday does not mean that's the person you have to wake up and be today, especially if you are aspiring or your goal is to be better than yesterday. You see, sometimes we listen to that quote, we hear that phrase, better than yesterday, we don't realize what it means. That means nobody or nothing can hold you to your past. Don't get bound to it. Use it, see it, understand it, learn the lessons, grow, move on. See, I was a little bit all over the place on that one, right? Let me tell you something. Eliminating people, places, and things from your life is a start. If they're not good for you, get rid of it. Secondly, stop doubting yourself. You've gotten rid of all the things that were harmful or keeping you away from your dream or your goal. That's the first step. Now refocus, reset, and look at where you're trying to be. If it's physical, mental, social, spiritual, reset, recreate, reinvent yourself now. You don't have to be who you were in 2020. Shoot, you don't have to be who you were. What's today's date? Today is March 13th. You don't have to be who you were March 1st, March 12th. And on March 14th, you don't have to be who you were on March 13th. You decide. You get up off that pillow and you flip whatever switch you want. You be whoever you want to be. It's you. You only get one life. You only get one chance at this one shot at this short life. What are you going to do with it? How important is it to you to be successful? How important is it to you to reach your goals, to make your dreams a reality? How important is it to you to be the person that you've always wanted to be? You see, it's okay if your dream changes over time. It's okay if your goal changes. It's okay if your finish line changes, because we're growing every day. You see, again, don't stay in one place because someone else wants you to. You grow in a direction that you know is best for you. Some people realize when they get in that job or they get in that class or they get in that major, this isn't for me. This isn't where I want to go. They get into that state, that city, this isn't for me. This isn't where I want to go. They get into that relationship. This isn't for me. This isn't what I want in my life. That's okay. It's okay. And just like I pause right now to say, it's okay. That's what you got to do sometimes, is pause. Look at everything going on in your world, and you dissect it, and you only take what you want out of it. Don't let nobody force feed you, because that's your life. It's the breaths you take, the steps you take, the actions you take, everything you do for you that matters. Man, I can talk about this all day, especially self-care, taking care of you, making those decisions. And again, I won't talk it unless I'm living it. That's the only way I will get on this radio and speak about any of these subjects. If it's a daily practice, notice I said practice, it becomes a routine, then it becomes habit, right? Daily, guys. So what are you doing for you? How are you taking care of yourself? What are you doing when you wake up in the morning to the end of the day? Remember our guest we had in a few weeks ago. Have you been practicing that bookend, that morning affirmation, positive affirmation in the morning? Evening reflection, right? Those are the two bookends. In the morning, wake up with gratitude and positive affirmation. Before you go to bed, go to sleep, reflect on your day. Find 3 great things about your day. Are you doing those things to set yourself up for a great day in the morning and a good night's sleep at night? You see, we don't pay attention to that. We don't realize how it all ties in together, but it does. And it all is because your brain is a beautiful machine. And these folks that have done the studies, these folks that have actually broken it all down, these folks that have these conversations, that counselors, the therapy, all that stuff, they see how this computer works. They're understanding the dynamics and where these anxieties, where these stresses, this depression, this insomnia, they see where it's all coming from, right? Piece by piece, even though every one of our brains are beautifully, uniquely, and wonderfully made. Some of those symptoms derive from the same place or derive from the same place. So what are you doing to take care of yourself? Are you using those bookends that we talked about to take care of you every day? Are you taking care of your body? Are you taking care of your social status, where you sit with friends, who your friends are? Paying attention to your circle. Are you getting in contact with those folks you love once a week to make sure you're not losing contact with the people that matter? Right? Are you connections, or did you make connections with groups or churches or something? Did you get involved? Did you get out there? What are you doing? So this is the question I ask you. These are the questions that I'm asking you. Because without asking yourself those same questions, you're not growing. You're not reflecting. You're not paying attention to where you are and where you could be, because you're just idly moving. You're just flowing aimlessly. You can't hit a target you can't see. Lock in and put in the effort. Again, it's practice. Becomes habit. Becomes routine. Becomes you. All these things matter, and I wouldn't be bringing it up if it didn't. So guess what? 78.6 FM Yomaton, Positive Vibes with Winsome. We'll be back after this break. .6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. This is the third segment, and as you know, the third segment is always dedicated to the Air Force Wounded Warrior Wellness and Resiliency Team. If you're out on their Facebook, go ahead and check out the Air Force Wounded Warrior War page, which is the Wellness and Resiliency Facebook page. Get some cool things out there, man. For the month of March, we're talking about mindfulness. I'm not going to dive into the conversation. I'm going to read something that Armando, one of our teammates from the war team, provided, right? And I'm going to slow it down For everybody here, for our Japanese and American listeners, man. So this is the present moment, right? So listen to me real quick. So I'm going to put my radio voice in on this because it was kind of cool when I read this. And thank you, Armando. Appreciate you, man. Listen to me, man. So when you're trying to practice mindfulness, the more you practice catching yourself and bringing your awareness to the now, the easier it will be and the earlier you will be able to catch yourself. So when you see your mind going off and you're starting to feel uncomfortable, insecure, or anxious, these are some things that you can do, man, that'll set you straight and get you back right on track, right? So first and foremost, become aware of the moment. Become aware of what's going on with yourself, right? Notice your body. Notice your breathing. Appreciate your lungs, your heart. Remember what I told you about 20 minutes ago? Not even that, 10 minutes ago? That you only get one. You got one set of lungs. You got one heart that beats. And the blessed thing, the magic behind all of that, man, is that we don't choose how our heart beats. We don't decide any of that. Our heart just beats. We breathe just like a machine flows. We just have a constant process of breathing. When things happen, like a cough or, you're snoring or whatever, yeah, it changes up. Listen to me, man. Notice your breathing when you get caught up in those insecure, uncomfortable moments. Listen to me. Notice the warm, tingling sensation in your hands. Feel the life in your whole body. Everything about you. Feel that for a second. Notice, take it all in. You notice the sounds around you. Appreciate how your ears interpret the vibration and allow you to experience your environment. Feels, the sensations, the smells, the sounds, what you see. Notice the space in the room you're in. Feel how the empty space allows you and allows the objects to be there. Just enjoy, appreciate your surroundings. Notice the light around you. Where's that light coming from? I'm not saying stare at the light, but just be in the one, knowing that, hey, there's a source of light here. I'm not in the dark. I'm in the light. Ask yourself, what is right about this moment? What's beautiful? What do you appreciate? What is right? What's beautiful? And what do you appreciate? The funny thing about that is a lot of times we're so focused on the negative that we forget that usually in every negative situation there's a lesson. It's hard to appreciate things when there's negative things going on, but there's always something to appreciate. Someone told me the other day that it was something going on, and my response, I promise, I can't make this up, man. My response was, I'm not disappointed about the outcome because I wasn't truly impressed with the effort that I put in. It's just a real man scenario. I wasn't impressed with what I did, so I'm not expecting the outcome to be different if the effort wasn't where I was, right? So 100%, man, that was the lesson I took away from it. So I was able to take something positive. I learned. You can see past that first layer, and you're going to put yourself in a better place. So that frustration, that uncomfortableness, that awkwardness is gone because you've already come to terms that there's still something positive at the other end. Do you reflect on it? No, don't dwell on it. Yeah, we talked about a lot of those little things when we had guests, like writing stuff down, throwing it away. You don't have to hold on to things. Be in this moment and then know how to move on. That's a secret to mindfulness. How much time? There was a 5-minute rule I used to give pain. How do you give pain 5 minutes? No, if something really hurt me and I was healing from something, I knew I needed to feel it. And sometimes it would be at work when I would feel that pain or I'd be going through. So I told myself, I'm going to give this 5 minutes. Imagine this. Say 3:55 p.m. or 3:45 I'm feeling this. I'm going to get this to 3:50. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go in that closet or that room or the restroom. When the time that I'm going to feel it, I'm going to let the tears out. The funny thing, you heard that. I'm a grown man. Hey, tears are real. Those tears mean something. There's feelings in that. So when I gave my 5 minutes, I shake it off. You still feel it, but you don't give it the energy that it probably wants, whatever that situation. No. And then I try to dial my mind back into what I need to do, right? It's time to look at what I need to do next. So then you go take care of that business. And when you feel it again, I'm just going to give it 5 minutes. Let me tell you something magical. When you're able to do that, that 5 minutes turns into 4. That 4 minutes turns into 3. You keep yourself busy. You keep starting to add stuff into that other time. That 3 minutes turns into 2. Keep yourself busy. You start focusing on other things, and you start learning how to give energy to where it's needed. It's not easy. And I guarantee you there's sometimes that 5 minutes may turn into 10. It's depending on severity of the situation. But it's all about trying to be in the now, in the moment, and understanding what you're feeling. You know, something powerful someone said a while ago, and I'm not sure if it was Doc 2 weeks ago, but I said, give it a name. What are you feeling? Because if you give it a name, you take its power away. Give it a name. Am I sad? Am I angry? Am I frustrated? Am I tired? Give it a name. What is it? And then you can counter it. Then it has you got a symptom. Normally you can find a cure, right? Whatever it is. So also this week in the Air Force Wounded Warrior Wellness and Resiliency team, we're talking about different things. I think one of the subjects came up was who's your favorite actor. They're talking about it was give your dog a hug day. And let me tell you something, man. Y'all know I love my dog, Scooby. Me and Scooby, that's my road dog, man. I wouldn't be able to get through the week without Scooby wagging his tail and running up and tackling me darn near, because that's a big boy. But it's a poodle. It's one of the biggest toy poodles I've ever seen in my life. What's going on? But listen to me when I tell you about dogs. I honestly think dogs are sent here to be our companions as a blessing, and we don't deserve them. Dogs are like truly key. If you tell yourself that every day is new, look at how your dog responds to you. You can yell at your dog the night before, tell him to get in bed. He can be mad at you for 5 minutes. Tail tucked between his legs, goes get in bed. But the next time he sees you, the next time you walk in the door, it's like he saw you for the first time or she saw you for the first time. Cats, I'm allergic. I don't know how cats are, but I've seen cats and be jerks sometimes in other people's house. But I know a dog, unconditional love. They say a dog will love you more than it loves himself, man. Herself, if it's a female dog. So think about these things with your pets and why they're therapeutic and why they're so loving. They're so furry and loving, and I know they've been domesticated over the centuries, but listen to me, man. Dogs are truly a blessing. They're like little furry angels come there to love on you, man. Take care of your animals. So give your dog a hug day, I believe, was the last couple of days. So if you haven't already done it, give your dog a hug, man. Give that puppy a hug and tell him how much you appreciate it, and just love on him. Watch his tail wag. Even the ones that got the little tail chopped out, the little nub wag around, right? It's you. What do you do next? Where are you at? Who are you? How do you chase your happiness? How do you find the good? How do you do these things? The Wounded Warrior team, man, thank you guys so much for all the motivation throughout the week. Taking the minds away from all the craziness going on and give us a chance to lock into something different. Every time they pop up with something for you to think about, it's taking your mind away from the different things that you may not want to think about, right? And so I appreciate it. And I've seen it, Fandom Friday, who's your favorite actress? Of course, our teammate, like I said, Armando Franco comes in and he's bringing in all the mindfulness information, talking about kids doing journals this week. Think about that. Have you taught your child to journal? I know a lot of schools teach kids some things, but have you taught your child how to journal and how to appreciate their story? I'm going to talk about that next week. I gave myself a topic. Have you taught your child how to appreciate their story? And they think, oh, they're too young to really understand. No, mom, dad, it's the time now. When you teach them how to journal, you teach them how to focus, reflect, pay attention to the day, the good and the bad, how to grow, how to keep track of what their growth from a week ago, a day ago. That's what the whole thing about journaling is. Journaling isn't just to write and just to write books and write tales or write events. No, journaling is to keep track, reset, allow you to refocus, allow you to grow, allow you to capture those things like the mindfulness tips that we have. Let's talk about photography and how therapeutic photography is, man, which is really, truly awesome. Y'all know I love taking pictures if you follow me on Facebook. Mindfulness is the journey of self-discovery. And that's one of the things that journaling allows you to do. And we spoke about that this week also. So again, the Air Force Wounded Warrior Wellness and Resiliency page. We celebrated, I believe, International Women's Day was 4 days ago, right? So we celebrated that on the page as well. It's truly a blessing to be a part of that team and to see what they're doing. Have some really great interviews. And I'm really looking forward to talking to Armando in the next couple of days about mindfulness. So I got to connect that for everyone in the crowd. So I always try to end with a message, right? And I don't like to speak from anywhere but the heart. So phone, you get to see it going down. My little notes from the Air Force Wounded Warrior, that's locked out. But I do want to talk to you guys about growth. 78.6 FM, Yoma Time, Positive Vibes with Winsome. About growing from failure, learning the lessons. About you are who you are. You can and you will overcome even the worst things that can happen to you. You see, the key to it is you just have to believe that you can. You have to believe that no matter what your story was, no matter what the worst thing that's happened to you in your life, what you're going through, I promise you, you've already survived your worst days. So what it is now is, what are you going to do next? We talked about reflecting, writing stuff down, and trying to be stronger from experiences and being tough. But the reality is you have to build yourself up. You have to build all those muscles up. It doesn't happen overnight. The 4 muscles we talked about, the ones we speak on every week, those mental muscles. If you have to get out of your own ego for a second and sit down with someone and talk to someone, you don't have the wingman, the accountability buddy, the partner you know you can reach out to, and your bookends, you can't find those places, right? Well, check this out. That's okay, because you don't always have to do everything by yourself. You can always sit down with a professional. They have all kind of options all over this island for you to sit down with someone. And if you're listening in from overseas, you know what I'm talking about. So that is the first step. Physical, get your butt up. Get out there and do something. Get up. My baby brother cracks me up every day. He's always saying, get your butt up and go do something. Go work out. Go for a hike. Go see the sun. Go outside. Walk on the beach. So much to do. You don't really have an excuse. It's a beautiful island that we're on. And if you're in the States again, get out and go do something. If it's safe, and always wear your mask if it's questionable and when it's required. So think about these things right now. Social, who's your circle? Make sure you pay attention to who's your circle, because if someone comes in there toxic, it creates a toxic environment, and it's toxic for you. Spiritually, what are you doing to feed yourself spiritually? There's so many ways. Yoga, Pilates, church, whatever you believe in, whatever feeds your spirit, whatever you need to do, get out there and do it. Take care of you. Don't let life get in the way of you taking care of yourself in those 4 areas I just mentioned. You are loved, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Positive Vibes with Winsome. Talk to you next week.